Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. They call him the BOAT.
That's right.
Coming to you from ESPN 97.5, 92.5. Ready to give it to you guys. I'm coming off of a really cool, relaxing weekend. I don't know about you, Bradley, but I got a chance to go see my man Bruce last night, man, Charmel. Date night, baby. Gotta always make sure you take care of the woman, man. Make sure you take care of the woman. So I went down to check out little Bruce, get a few laughs in, man. I tell you, man, I laughed so much last night. It wasn't funny, man. My side hurt this morning when I woke up, but I had a great time. Big ups to my man Bruce.
Shout out to Bruce, man. Always makes a stop in H-Town. He did the Booker T roast a few years ago. Did he have some new jokes for you?
What, man? He had all new material.
Oh, great.
He had all new material, but he kind of like mixed it in a little bit too with a little bit of old material, which made it new again. So yeah, it was good, man. We had a great time.
Shout out to Bruce, man. And also, see, because you told me, I don't know, what was this, last Thursday when we did the show, that every Sunday night you and the wife had a tradition. Y'all would go to the new spot by the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't really given it a real run for its money, and I went on Saturday with my wife and a friend of ours. And I got to say, man, it really hit. It delivered. It really delivered. The sushi spot in the F delivers, man.
It ain't no katana, but
no, it's not on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, California, Booker. It's on 518 in Friendswood, Texas. Like, give me a break here. Like, come on, man. Give me a break.
No, man, but the tempura shrimp roll, it actually was hidden. Yeah, sir.
I had like a lobster, like a tempura lobster roll.
Yeah.
It was good. And then they had one called the Double D.
Okay, what was that?
Double D was good. It was like avocado and tuna with a little bit of this, like the salmon tempura in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I don't know why it was called the Double D. I asked the waitress and she didn't know why either. I'm not sure where that phraseology emanates from. However,
they got something else on the menu called fungus. Make you wonder for a second. You go, because I had to call them over. I go, what is this? Fungus. And all it is mushrooms.
Oh, which are a fungus.
Yeah. And I like, man, y'all might want to change the name. Just put mushrooms on here because you might scare somebody off with fungus. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, the branding on that one, not so smart. They need to workshop that a little bit. But you know what? Shout out to them. They were good overall. Of course, like you said, they're no katana in Los Angeles. But yeah, they do the job, and they do the job well.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question too on the improv thing. Because I'm assuming Bruce was at the improv.
Yeah.
Is that where he was? What do you think about this 2-drink minimum thing? Like, you're already paying to go to the improv. You got to pay for the ticket, right? Now, the improv, for people who don't know, in Houston, it's a little bit fur. It's far for us. Further for us. So it's like a 40-minute drive maybe out
40
there.
40 minutes. It's a pretty quick ride. It's not that bad.
But that's some gasoline that you got to spend too. And then you got to find parking in that big complex. You go in, you pay for the ticket, and then you sit down, you're ready to enjoy the show. But for me, I'm thinking, well, how am I going to get these 2 drinks in? Like, that to me, I think that's asking too much of the patrons. I will tip the waitress. I will tip the bartenders. I don't want to feel compelled to have to order 2 things off of this menu. By the way, a menu that has chicken tenders for $20. like it's an expensive menu.
Look, bro, I don't know what the prices were. They took care of me.
I forgot you're not one of the commoners.
But no, man. Look, you got to understand, man. That's an establishment, man. They're looking to make money. They're looking to make sure they got everything paid for at the end of the day, and that's talent. That's making sure the light bill taken care of. That's making sure taking care of everything, man. Common area maintenance, everything goes under that ticket right there. So, man, I'm not hating on it. It's like Uber making sure they want to get their tip. You know what I mean? They want to get it. They want to get it. I took a ride last week, and the Uber driver, he reminded me, make sure you tip, please. You tip, please. And he had his hands like this.
Oh, man.
So I was like, let me tip this something quick. Because I don't know if it's, work and get around in the Uber, community, he's not a good tipper. So when your name come up, they don't click on it. You know what I mean? It might be something like that. Right?
It very well could be. It very well could be. You know what? I'm also off Uber, though. I don't like Uber. I'm a Lyft guy now. You know what I mean?
What's the difference?
Oh, there is no difference, but I don't understand the name Uber. I get where Lyft comes from. It bothers me so much, and no one can explain to me why is the car service called Uber.
Uber, I think Uber is like Uber Quick, right? Doesn't that fall under the same category?
I mean, Uber, yes. Uber means super, right? So like Uber fast, quick, Uber good.
Fast. It ain't like just like back in the day, man. I'm from the time, Brad, where you had to call a taxi. All right.
Right.
Do you know how long it would take for a taxi to come? And then
quite a bit of time.
Again, in the taxi community, the brothers ain't too popular. So I'm down with Uber.
The brothers aren't popular in the taxi community?
No, not at all. Go to New York City and try to wave a taxi down.
Oh,
they gonna just keep on rolling, man. It comes down to the tipping. We just talked about that in Galveston not too long ago. You know what I mean? The restaurants down there, the brothers. They take a can of tuna with them, you know what I mean, and a Coke, and they're good, you know what I mean? But they ain't tipping. They ain't no big tippers or nothing like that. That's just part of the deal. Well, I get it. I was a part of that community. First time I went to Japan, man, I had my luggage and I had my luggage. One was full of food. One had a few clothes. I'm serious, man. I wasn't paying for nothing. So I get it. And there's certain things brothers do. Certain thing white folks do. We're gonna talk about that too here today inside the Hall of Fame, man. We got to, man. But
on the final edition of the Hall of Fame. Everybody at the station's ears just perked up. Wait a minute.
Oh man, we got social. You know how I am, man. When I get an analogy, I get a chance to use, as far as black folks,
yes,
compared to white folks. I try to put it out there. I try to put it out there just because.
No,
it's something that we really need to talk about. It's something that we really need to know because I'm more so studying this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out the root, the commonality as far as why people do certain things according to race, gender, whatnot. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. We're going to get down to the bottom of
it. James Weston says incoming demonetization for the channel. Yeah, it's about to happen.
That's not true.
What are we going to be talking about? What, do you put sugar or salt in your grits? Like, what are we talking about?
No.
Do you put sugar or salt?
I put sugar in my grits. Right, and I know you put salt and pepper on yours, right?
So salt and butter, no pepper.
I put sugar and butter in mine. It's a difference there, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a minute to delve inside this little situation. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, this is two-time Hall of Famer Booker T, and I want to invite all of you to Summer of Champions 9, going down at the Humble Civic Center, 7 o'clock bell time, guys. Brought to you by one Walker, Texas lawyer. Don't miss out on the biggest show of the summer where all the championships will be on the line. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. Summer of Champions 9. Now can you dig that, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, coming to you from ESPN 97.5, 92.5. And it's something I wanted to talk about. Something I definitely want to talk about. We hadn't had a chance to talk about it since our last show. Something that black folks compared to white folks, stuff that we just don't do. story that intrigued me over the last few days is this submersible that went down to see the Titanic.
Yeah.
5 people lost their lives, including the CEO, Stockton Rush was his name, the creator of the submersible called the Titan, company called Ocean Gate. These guys are making a lot of money. To take this trip, I think it was $150,000 to $250,000 just to go down. One thing that really touched my heart was a father and son was on that trip. Son was 19 years old. Just did it just because his dad wanted him to experience it with him and go down and take that trip. I don't think you're gonna have too many brothers in the in that submersible business, going down, going underwater, wanting to go see the Titanic. And now they are a part of that story. They are part of the Titanic story. Now people are gonna, when they go down, to witness that and see it, that hey, let's check out the Titan scene as well. Tell me, what's the fascination, Brad? Can you bring me a little bit closer to wanting to go and do something like that?
Well, are you asking me from a Brad Gilmore's perspective?
From a Caucasian perspective. It's just because you're not going to find any brothers wanting to go down to see the Titanic, just have that experience. I mean, me personally.
I was going to say, I think this is a particular type of white individual. Now, let me preface by saying, tragic situation. I think we all agree on that. Awful. I couldn't believe it, when I was reading about it. However, as tragic as it is, this is a type of Caucasian individual that we call rich, bored white guy, right? And it's not one that I can yet relate to in totality. But for some reason, if you look at the Jeff Bezoses of the world or the Elon Musks or what have you, or even William Shatner, they all want to go to space. They want to go and just spend a minute in space. You know why this idea came to them of, oh, let's go to space? Because they have too much money and they're extremely bored. And I think that the Titanic, now I will say, I think everybody has a passing fascination with the Titanic just because of the story that we know, and to see where the ship is wrecked. I can understand the appeal of going to find the Titanic's wreckage or what have you. But I'm claustrophobic as it is. I might look twice at an MRI machine, let alone a submarine, and going down into the depths of the ocean. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it some sort of experimental type submersible? Like it wasn't.
Well, it hadn't passed any tests. It hadn't passed any qualifications or anything like that. This was a guy that was pretty much just flying by the seat of his own pants. He had pretty much skirted all the rules and regulations of building this thing. He built it with 3 different types of material. And that right there, no experts say that was, it was safe or anything like that. But he was a guy that did it. He had went down and viewed the Titanic more than one occasion in the submersible. One thing about going into that depth, expand and it gets smaller and then it gets bigger, smaller, gets bigger. After a while, something cracked, boom, this would happen. But for something like that to happen, man, it's just, it's nuts. It's nuts for me to even think of being 13,000 feet underwater in a submersible where you can't really even move around in it. You're going to be down there for just me. I'm claustrophobic. Like you say, getting into an MRI machine, they got to put me to sleep just to get in the MRI and to do something, to want to do something like this, not just to want to do something like this, but pay $250,000 to actually do it. Like you say, that is somebody that just got a lot of money, that's just bored and just wants something to do. But for me, there again, it's like climbing Mount Everest. People pay. People pay to climb Mount Everest.
People or certain kinds of individuals?
White folks pay to climb Mount Everest. This extreme biking and stuff and whatnot. You don't see no brothers going to that. And I don't know if maybe it's because we ain't got the money to just want to just blow.
Well, let me ask this. I wanted to ask, what is the opposite of that? What is the rich, bored, black guys thing? Like what do rich bored black individuals do, or rich bored brothers, as you might call them? It's not my word.
Go to the beach.
Buy a house like Rick Ross. It's just that palatial estate.
Yeah. But you ain't finna go.
Something sensible, maybe a luxury good of some kind. Yeah.
Seriously, you're just not gonna go, do anything stupid and extreme to the point to where you can kill yourself.
Yeah.
No, and the reason why, because you want to be around to spend the money. You go do something like that. That's a risk. It's like me when I started wrestling. I stopped playing pickup basketball because I thought I might get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not going to get in a submarine and go 13,000 feet underwater. So it's just nuts, man. Some of the stuff people do to, just to capture that thrill, those thrill seekers, that never ceases to amaze me.
What's the most thrilling thing that you've ever done? Like, what's the most
probably ride a roller coaster.
Right. This is probably me too.
The Texas Cyclone.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Have you ever been to a water park, like a Schlitterbahn kind of style water park?
I have, but I don't get in the water. You know what I mean? That's just going underwater for me is like a
thrill.
That's a thrill. Yeah.
I will say this. So at the Schlitterbahn over in Galveston, they've got a water slide that essentially goes just down, right? I think they said it's like 70 feet high, and you just go down, right? And so this was years back, we decide we're going to do this slide, me and the missus. We go up to the top, and when you get up to the top, you really realize how high you actually are up. And that's what starts to make you question, like, your decisions, right? And then they give you an instructional video or instructional lesson on how to slide down the slide. Now, I did not know there needed to be directions to put your body on a slick plastic slide and go down, but they had directions. And here were the directions. We want you to cross your feet at the ankles and cross your arms like this. I said, isn't that how you lay in a coffin? And they said, yeah. And I said, okay. And then you go down this thing, and there's no like little incline to get you started. You just pretty much go straight down. And I let out like a George of the Jungle style scream as I went down this slide. And then when I landed and stood up, in my mind, I was the baddest man on the planet. Nobody could touch me. I was walking around that water park like I had just deadlifted a Subaru. You know what I mean? Like, nobody could mess with me that whole day. But I would never do it again, man.
Oh, man.
Right.
No, you won't find me doing anything like that, man. I don't know. It's, like I said, just stories like that intrigue me, man, because I was totally captured with this story for, the 3 days that, they say it was underwater. They got so much air, left, you know what I mean? We're getting close, you know what I mean? They might be running out of air, it's only got a couple hours left. It was one of those type of deals. It just kept you on a cliffhanger, just wondering, are these people going to make it out alive? And then I heard James Cameron talk, because he's big off into the submersible world. He said, man,
he directed Titanic.
Yeah, he said he knew they were dead 3 days ago.
Jesus.
He said he had heard about it, you know what I mean? It was something that he had got from, from, I don't know, hearing something, implosion, whatnot. But he said that the military knew that those guys were probably gone immediately when the story broke, but they just kept everybody on that cliffhanger. And I tell you, for me, there again, I don't know what it feels like to be in that situation, but can you imagine there for just 1 second if it was some kind of an alarm saying that this was about to happen? Crack, some water seeping in, something, you know what I mean? And boom, it's all over.
I mean, it is super tragic. And, I mean, again, that's why I don't have that thrill seeker gene in me. But you know what it kind of reminded me of? Because you mentioned the guy had gone down a few times prior. In some ways, it reminded me of the terrible tragedy that happened to Kobe Bryant, in the fact of, this is something that you've done a few times. Sure, there's an element of risk involved, and probably with the Titanic and the submersible, there was more of a risk than with Kobe's thing, but with Kobe's accident. But it's just, you never expect something like this to happen. As many times as you do it. And as tragic it is for the man to lose his life, and for Kobe, of course, when you think about the children who still had so much more to give the world, and they didn't even give the opportunity to leave their mark.
Yeah.
Not even the opportunity to leave their mark. It's
yeah. Hey man,
terrible.
another one. I know we got to take a break. Another one. Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. You ain't gonna find no brothers doing that. We gotta take a break, guys. Stick around. In the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We just chopping it up, talking a little bit of everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Why do you think they don't have any black crocodile hunters?
I don't know if I'm properly equipped to answer that question. Other than maybe it's not a passing interest.
Because we might get bit. You know what I mean? Oh, like one of these venomous snake handlers.
Yeah.
You won't catch no brothers doing that. What you might catch is, like somebody like Lil Dang. Somebody like Lil Dang rapping. You heard of Lil Dang, right?
No, I haven't heard of Lil Dang.
Pull up Lil Dang and let him drop a few verses on the people here inside the Hall of Fame.
Okay, let me pull
He
up.
was on a radio station or something in Dallas or something. They pull that one up.
Is it clean?
Yeah, it's clean. It's clean.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I. Okay, here we go. This is going to be Lil Dang.
Lil Dang. Dallas, Texas, baby. This is what you go catch the brothers doing.
From Dallas, Texas?
Put it up. Yeah, from Dallas. I'm talking about Oak Cliff.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Oak Cliff. All right, here we go. This is Lil Dang.
Listen, I got 5 on top.
Okay, I got 5 on it. Who the hell?
Young Dang on the low. Yes, sir. I run to the store. Trying to make it. In the education, these people talking down, but they in a bad situation. I ain't tripping, sir. We be sipping. People talking down, but I will have you missing. And
Woo!
Real. Hey, the better chill. It's your boy Thing got $100 bill. Still in my pocket, harder than the socket. Watch me come through, got the bins in my wallet. Wool grain gripping. It's your boy Thing screens in the expedition. Riding on 8. Truck might break.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
That's what the brothers be doing.
Wait, hey, Lil Dang killed it.
Bro,
Lil Dang just destroyed. He just ate. Whoa. I was not expecting Lil Dang to come through like that. He was dropping bars about educations and expeditions. Harder than a socket.
Ain't tripping. Wood grain
Gripping.
Big shout out to Lil Dang, man. I ran across that on YouTube, man. And I've been tripping on it ever since, man. When I want to laugh, when I want to just feel good, I drop some Lil Dang.
Hey man, he was kind of rapping his ass off. You know what's interesting about like because that was a real H-Town style flow that he dropped on everybody.
Yeah.
And the thing, I was talking about this today, like with the Houston vernacular. Like if you're not from here or from the region, you probably have no idea what we're talking about. Dripping stains when I switch lanes, pop trunk waving, breaking boys off,
His one line.
Coming down candy.
His one line that he didn't get a chance to hit. When you cut it off, he goes, "I got a cousin named Bubba, a cousin named Nietzsche. He'll come through in a brand new Caprice."
No, we're about to bring Dang back. We gotta get little Dang on the show.
That's the same thing I was thinking, man. We gotta get a little Dang.
I'ma come through, put it in the dirt. It's your boy Dang, up until third. Everybody is word.
Huh.
You don't want to see me. You ain't trying to be
See me.
Yep, I got a cousin in his nickname me. Just we be seeing people talking down. That's how you miss.
Huh.
Freestyle, feeling like a wild boy.
No. We don't want to hear from you. We want to hear from little Dang. Yo, why did he kill that?
Oh man, I told you, dog. The brothers, man, we simple. We gonna go in the club, hang out, drop a few bars, 8, 16, 24 bars. That's how many they go up to, right?
It can go up to 24. Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what we do.
Yo,
Yeah.
slow, loud, and banging.
Oh man,
All in my trunk, man. Trunk full of funk. I
I
never.
love it, man. I love it, man. That's
Love it, man.
That's Oak Cliff, man. That's Oak Cliff to Dallas, man. That's D time.
You know what's interesting that you bring this up about a certain vernacular, and certain way we tend to speak down here in the South, and more specifically the dirty South in the Houston area, because there was an episode of Reality Wrestling that debuted on the channel this weekend, and there was a promo that was spit by Booker T, and Booker T was laying down some bars, and I think this chat in particular is going to, if you haven't seen it already, is going to particularly love this part of the promo. Let's take a look.
There's one more team. It's gonna be all about Defile. You got that, sucker?
Can you dig it, sucker?
You see the outfit I got on right there, huh?
You got
like
the
that?
all white. You got the all white with the OJs on. You know what I'm saying?
With the tie on just around the neck. You know what I mean? That's some Butch Lewis stuff right there. You know what I mean? Y'all don't know who Butch Lewis is, man. Famous promoter from back in the day, Dunn King era. You know what I mean? Always used to come out with a vest with no shirt on with a bow tie. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
That's hard. That's hard. You got to be a specific individual to pull that off. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
you
also
gotta be jacked. You gotta be jacked. You gotta be looking
jacked.
good. Baby all everything.
You also drop this on the people though.
Walks like a chicken. If it clucks like a chicken, it's a chicken, right?
Oh.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna drop those on the people, but I was so pleased when you did, and I want to use that as a segue. Make sure everybody knows July 15th. I mean, we're already 500 plus sold. This house is going to sell out. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when. Have you gotten your tickets already for July 15th, the Summer Champions 9? If you haven't, realitywrestling.com right now.
Yeah,
do
we're not even nowhere near July just yet. We're closed, but we're not in that month yet, and we got over 500 tickets. So we're looking for our biggest house in Humble for Reality Wrestling. Last time we were in Humble, I think we had about 800 to 900 people. This time we can get 12 to 1,500 under that roof. Man, it's going to be going crazy. Of course, my man Trick Williams is going to be house MC for the night, as well as taking up pulling up the rear. Actually, Alicia Fox will be co-host as well. And then we got my man Nick Patrick in the building, making sure he call it straight down the middle, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait, because Summer Champions means every championship will be on the line. So my boys, the Heat, my girl Promise Braxton, my man Matty Ice got to go out there, and we got to represent OG style, because you know what it's all about, right? It's all about D5.
Yes, of course.
Wait a minute. One more ting. That's what it was. It's all
One
about
more ting.
D5.
D5. D5, not the 5.
D.
D5.
Deep
Deep.
ice.
While you were talking just then, we had one of our faithful listeners send me a message on Instagram of a account. This is from Coop the Cook, and he sent me this on Instagram. And the caption to this is what he says: a brother handling snakes. And it's a man named the Real Tarzan, and he's a snake guy. So you stand corrected.
Is he in Africa?
I don't know where he is.
Well, if he's in Africa, we might find a couple over there. You know what I mean? Because they got to get around. They got to live. You know what I mean? The brothers might have to take up that responsibility. I get that. But normally you're not going to see too many brothers doing that. That's a rarity.
What is he doing?
That's a rarity, bro. That's a rarity. That's a rarity. You know what I mean?
You got to be out of your damn mind. Just play with this.
Somebody just had to find it, right?
Somebody look. Our people are on it.
Somebody went looking like everywhere, every nook and cranny to find a brother working with a snake.
They found it. You said it didn't exist, and they found it. You stand corrected, BT.
All right, okay, do me a favor, listener. Find me a brother climbing that damn Everest. do me that favor. It's your smart ass. Do that for me.
I don't know if that may be possible. I'm not going to count it. Not going to count it out.
There might have been some brothers climbing Everest. I'm not saying it hadn't been. Look here, bro. Sometimes we just do stupid stuff too. Just to be a part of the what's going on.
Sometimes we do stupid stuff too.
I'm serious. I mean, come on. Look here. You think it's smart climbing Everest?
No.
Is that kind of stupid?
It's a little dumb.
I mean, so come on. It's like, come on. I'm not just saying.
Haven't some of your compatriots done it? Didn't JBL do it?
Well, I don't think he climbed Everest. I think he climbed a mountain.
Okay, I think he may have done Everest.
It might have been Everest. I mean, I could be wrong. But he falls in the category.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on. He's a wrestler. He falls in there. We got to take a break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
In order to kick some ass, you gotta bring some. I wasn't born the chosen one. I became the chosen one. Through hard work, determination, and winning.
The chosen one, victorious.
You're gonna be a big star. You already are.
I'm stronger. And I'm faster than anyone they've ever put me in the ring with. Being the chosen one isn't just a nickname, it's a gift. And professional wrestling is my gift. That is an absolute guaranteed. What's my name again?
Shup, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, and I stand corrected. Stand corrected again. I pulled it up myself. I'm reading The Guardian. All right, it says Mount Everest, top of the world. Black climbers team make history as first to scale Mount Everest, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brothers.
It's a team. You said what is it? What were they called? The Black Everest team?
Oh no. Black climbers, black climbing team.
Black climbing team.
Makes history as first to scale Mount Everest.
Wow.
Yeah. It's from some guys. They from Spokane. It's cold in Spokane, so they They ain't like normal brothers. You know what I mean? They got an extra coat on them. You know, all of them got dreadlocks too, so that's gonna make them a little extra warm. You know, long dreadlocks too. So give them a little extra insulation. You know, so I get it. These are some different kind of brothers. You know what I mean? Like mountain goats. You know, mountain goats, man, they can do anything. You ever seen a mountain goat?
I don't think in person.
Mountain goat, man, they're like so impressive, man, because they got their feet made a certain way to where they can literally scale on a piece of cliff about that small. You know, just say for instance, bear hunt, you know, mountain goat, right? And they will lure a bear to try to chase him to the point to where the bear will fall off the mountain and kill himself, trying to chase a mountain goat. It's very interesting, man. Very interesting if you off into stuff like, I don't know why off into stuff like that, but it's I don't know, very educational.
Well, you know what? Hey, we've learned a lot today so far inside the Hall of Fame, and we might as well keep the hits on coming because we have a slew of super chats to get to. Should we?
I know some of them got some brothers climbing Mount Everest.
They might. We'll find out. Should we answer a few?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, let's start off with Marcus.
Super chat.
Marcus Craig, book. I'm a big fan of Nikita Lyons.
Oh,
you
man.
think she will ever be the top female in NXT?
Lion Queen. That's what I like to call her. She's coming off of an injury, and she's just now getting back on track. She went out, I don't know, what, 3 months ago? It's been about 3 months since Nikita went down. But yeah, man, she's top billing as far as I'm concerned. She's got a lot of talent. She's got a lot of upside. Her in-ring prowess is, you know, on point. And for a girl that's you know, she's a bigger girl, but
Sure.
her abilities, man, is unbelievable for someone, you know, of her stature. I tell you, she could be champion in NXT, no problem. And the thing is, what I see with Nikita is, you know, if she does get the championship, who's going to beat her? That's the thing I'm wondering. You know,
She could go on a real run. Huh?
go to run. Yeah, she can go to
Yeah.
a hell of a run.
Is there anybody else though in that women's division who maybe we haven't seen yet or seen very few of, that you could see really making a nice little run for it?
The championship.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Right now I'm just loving you know, watching Tiffany Stratton try to have her run. No pun intended as far as watching. Because I'm definitely gonna be watching. No, but Tiffany Stratton is definitely someone that I've been looking forward to seeing her in that role because
I think we got Book frozen here for a second. He was talking about Tiffany Stratton and the run that she's currently in. We're going to see if Book will rejoin us here inside the Hall of Fame. I like Nikita Lyons too. There's been
you know,
there you
Roxanne
go.
Perez, you know,
There you go.
which was cool.
Okay. You know what? It looks like he's having some technical difficulty, but it's fine, y'all. We're talking though about, I'm gonna ask him to rejoin here. Let's see if I can have him rejoin. Yeah, he's nothing but a black screen. It's all right, Joe. We'll get him on back. Until then, you know what? I want to play some Lil Dang again, but it's all right. BT, if you can hear me, I'm gonna kick him out of the studio, and then we'll wait for him to rejoin. He should rejoin shortly, or he's probably calling my phone here in a minute. Nikita Lyons. Who else do y'all think is somebody though in that NXT bubble who we haven't really gotten enough of? I'm trying to look. I mean, Tiffany Stratton was obviously one of them, but when you think about people who've got the star potential, got the potential to be on top, that hasn't really gotten that run yet, the name I go to is Cora Jade. Cora Jade, you know, her and Roxanne were the women's NXT women's tag team champions, which isn't even a thing anymore. Let me text Book and tell him to rejoin. But we have not seen her run as the top woman in that division. Rejoin the link, Book. So I think she could easily have a run on top because, again, when you think about wrestling, you look at all of the factors that would make you a great professional wrestler, all the boxes, right? And I think Cora checks all the boxes. Y'all have a couple of people in the chat. Sol Ruka, yeah, no, absolutely. Great. I saw her at those NXT tapings down in Orlando when I went down there with Booker, and she was one that really stood out as having the potential to go on and be something special. She got a lot of interesting, when I say interesting, I mean like awesome looking moves that she can pull off athletically. She's gifted in ring. But as far as her being over a Cora Jade right now, I don't know if I see that one. Who else we got? Ariana Grace, that I believe is Santino Marella's daughter. Yeah, she's good. She's good, man. I think that she's probably still got some, room to grow. She's brand new. I think she's only been in the game like, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 years at the most that she's been down to NXT. Haven't seen her a whole lot on TV or Level Up, I think is what it's called, or Next Level Up. But she's got some promise. And David says it right now, Roxanne Perez, letting Roxanne have a real run at that championship, because I really didn't love how they ended her run. They do the injury, or she's injured, or whatever the real case was. I'm not completely sure. She comes back to do the ladder match at Stand and Deliver, and then doesn't win. It goes to Indy, and then it bounces from Indy into this tournament that goes to Tiffany. I feel like Roxanne didn't have a great way of her run ending as the champion. So I think that she's definitely, here's Book right now. We're going to go to a quick break here inside the Hall of Fame. Don't go anywhere. ESPN 97.5, 92.5. We will be back here in just one moment.
Every time I come here, I just have so much fun. I go home and we just can't stop talking about it till we come back.
The whole roster, top to bottom, star-studded guys.
We drove 12 hours from Atlanta. This comes to one missile for the world. It's one of the premier independent wrestling promotions across America.
It's a well-oiled machine, and there's a lot of good talent. It's very rare on in these shows to see so much talent on one show.
The organization that he has right now, I think and truly believe that it's one of the best organizations out there.
Brian Keith is 15 feet in the air! Brian Keith from up top!
A lot of fun, a lot of good athletes, good wrestlers, good family fun.
I've been around with a lot of the other independent groups, but this to me is a very, very top and first-class operation.
Reality of wrestling, one word, heart. And that's what Booker T is bringing to Houston. It's already special.
He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
Can't make it happen without these young people, without the fans coming out supporting this thing. This is the flagship of Texas wrestling. This is the beginning of something big. It ain't gonna stop.
It's the best damn promotion in the country right now. The best independent promotion in the country. The best talent, the best coach and teacher that there ever was. And this is where it's at right here in the reality of wrestling. Believe that.
Oh my goodness! A Davidson driver!
It's very professional. It's a very good production. Booker's doing it right. I really enjoyed being a part of it.
Oh, what a rush!
The future of wrestling is reality of wrestling. That's the reality of the situation.
I'm Roddy Piper, and you're watching Reality of Wrestling. Be there, be square, babe.
What a night, guys. Christmas, chaos, 11 years straight, guys. We have done this event all because of you guys supporting Reality of Wrestling. We love you. We thank you. But more importantly than that,
We got to thank Rey Mysterio for making the trip all the way from San Diego. And more, hey, that's man love. But the thing is, we got one more present because tomorrow is Rey Mysterio's birthday, guys. Hey guys, break it out. Break it out. Look at it. 619, baby. All the way from the 619. Happy birthday, and like I always say, for Rey Mysterio, now can you dig that sucker? Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, ESPN 97.5, 92.5. It's Brad Gilmore here, joined via phone right now with Booker T. Book, your internet went out on us, huh?
Yeah, man, everything got fried here around the house. I don't know what's going on, but I'm back. I'm good.
You're never going to stop, never going to settle, obviously. Booker T, we have you up here on the screen like it looks like you're here with us. So that's good to know.
Go.
Right? It looks like you're here with us. So why don't we were talking about super chats here. Why don't we continue with our trail down our incredible super chats that we have so far, and let's go to our next one here. This
super chat
is from DJ 1491 Book. It says, I couldn't get into Forbidden Door because I didn't know much about Japanese wrestling. Is AEW hurting their growth by shutting out the casual fan?
You know, I wouldn't necessarily say shutting out their growth or anything like that or stunting their growth. But I did make this observation, I don't know, maybe a year ago. I talked about, the Japanese wrestling here in the United States. I talked about it being on Access TV, and as far as the views that show would get, it's not a whole lot of people here in the United States that's clamoring to just watch Japanese wrestling. Just not that it's not a good product or anything like that. It's just it's just not what we're normally used to watching. We normally watch American television here in the United States. But I think what they're trying to do is trying to bridge that gap as far as the American audience getting in tune with a lot of those Japanese players, because some of those guys are really, really good talent. The Kota Ibushi's of the world. Those guys are really, really good. And to get a chance to get a chance to see them display their talent, I think it's pretty awesome. Getting the fans to get in tune with it a little bit more, that's going to be a much more of a challenge for AEW to actually bridge that gap. But I think that's what they're trying to do. Is it popular? Me personally, I don't think it's as popular as those guys really think it can be.
On the state side, I definitely agree with you, because look, if you asked me to name 5 Japanese wrestlers, could I do it? I could get there. Yeah, I could probably get there. But also, you're talking to somebody who is plugged into wrestling 24/7, right? And have been for the last 10 years. And it would be a challenge for me to get to there. Now, I'm sure there's some people listening to this who can run off the entire New Japan Pro Wrestling roster and then start on Pro Wrestling Noah and tell me about NJPW Strong and all that stuff. It's just never been my cup of tea, because I grew up on the American style of wrestling. If you are accustomed to the Japanese style, maybe you are really off into that, and Forbidden Door is a dream show for you. But in last night, MJF, in his match on Forbidden Door, he came out with a robe, and on the back of his robe, it had something that it made me laugh. I don't know did you see what was on MJF's robe at New Japan? On the back of his robe, he had a Ric Flair style robe, and on the back it said, New Japan Pro Wrestling is an indie. That was his dig at New Japan. But I laughed at that because some people in the States might see it that way, as just a promotion from another place who I don't know anybody on it. And I don't think that that's wrong if Americans like the American style of wrestling, and there's some people who are really off into New Japan, but I agree with you. And I think that, and I agree kind of with DJ 1491 in the sense of, Are you stunning your growth? No. Are you shutting out casual fans? No. But are you marketing to a very small minority of your overall audience? Absolutely.
I don't. You know what? I kind of got to fight against you on that one a little bit. I don't think it's a small audience or anything like that because I've been to Japan. I've been a part of those big shows. I know what it's like. To work in the Tokyo Dome. And that audience over there is just as rabid for wrestling, if not more so, than we are about professional wrestling. But there again, I just think it's Americans not being in tune to watch Japanese television because it's a language barrier. We don't know what they're saying. And that's just not, it's just like watching Spanish television. We're not going to watch, it's just not the way we are. People are going to watch what they're comfortable with more than anything. And I just think Japanese wrestling here in the States, some of those guys, like Kendo Nagasaki, guys like Great Muta has come over here to the States and got over very, very well. But there again, it's only few and far between as far as those Great Mutas and those Kendo Nagasakis.
I know, I agree with that. And what I was saying when I said it was a small audience, not that there's a small Japanese audience for New Japan Wrestling. I think as far as, okay, let's just look at American wrestling fans in general. Let's just make it easy. Let's say there's 1 million wrestling fans in the United States. We know there's more than that, but let's just, for argument's sake, say there's 1 million. Out of those million, let's say 1 million of them watch WWE. So every wrestling fan is aware of WWE and they watch it. Well, out of that 1 million people who watch WWE, let's say only 700,000 watch AEW. Okay. Now, out of those 700,000 that watch AEW, how many of them actually watch New Japan Pro Wrestling? I would say less than half that number. So when you're doing a show like New Japan Pro Wrestling, oh, wait, hold on. Do we have a special guest joining us right now? We have a special guest joining us.
I'm back.
He's back. Let me hang the phone up. Well, like when you have, I think it'd be less than half of that. So then when you have a pay-per-view catering to the small group of people who watch your show who also watch New Japan, I wouldn't say that you're cutting off the casual fan, but you're marketing this to a minority of your audience.
Yeah. I think I was reading. Didn't Adam Cole have to wrestle one of the Japanese guys?
Yeah, I didn't watch the show, so I
didn't watch it, but I don't. I think I was reading that.
Look.
If I'm not mistaken, let's get it right. Was he wrestling a Japanese guy first?
Adam Cole. Let me find his name on here. Adam Cole did wrestle at Forbidden Door. Where's your? I'm having issues over here. Let's see. Adam Cole, man, where is it? Well, you have to give me a second. What did you have a point that you really needed to make?
The point that I was trying to make was I think I read that Adam Cole had never saw one of the guys' matches before.
I'm not seeing him on the card from last night, so maybe he didn't work. Maybe it wasn't that particular show.
I think I don't know. I was reading something like that, and if it's true, yeah, I mean, it's not anything uncommon that you wrestle a Japanese guy and you've never seen him work before, unless you're one of those guys that's really off into studying every wrestler out there. And like you say, if I had to name 5 Japanese wrestlers, I'm gonna have a problem, just because, not that I don't like it, not that it's not good, it's just something that I don't watch.
Now, apparently the match of the night was Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. They went 40 minutes in their match for the IWGP United States Championship. Will Ospreay walked out with the win. The other thing that was big from the show, and I actually wanted to ask you this. It was the first time ever the ring was had these two combatants in it, and those two were Chris Jericho and Sting. It was the first time that they found each other in the same ring, and they were on opposite sides in a 6-man tag. It looks like it's building to an eventual singles match with Jericho and Sting. These are two guys who you've wrestled multiple times at different points in their career, obviously. I would say that Sting is at the latter portion of his career. I think that's not going out on a limb, and so is Jericho for that matter. Jericho's still putting in quality matches, and Sting in a tag situation is as well. What do you think about Would this be this is my question. Would this be the feud that Jericho and Sting should go out on? Feuding with Jericho.
I tell you what, if it was a match to go out on, and the guy to actually do it with, couldn't find a better guy than Chris Jericho. Actually, he knows Chris can go out there and take him to that place that he wants to go, and take him to that place to where he's seen a certain way. Especially in this last match, I think if anybody could do that, get that done, it would be Chris Jericho. I'm sure, one of those. I'm sure one of the younger guys on that roster could go out there and get it done just as well. But I think if I had to trust someone to actually really get that job done, me and my final match, that final curtain call, the guy to do it with would be Chris Jericho.
I think so too. I just think he's the perfect person to do it. And Jericho will know how to not only put the match together, like you said, Jericho's going to know how to put the program together, how to make people buy into it, how to make people want to go see the ticket to see, is Sting going to get it done? Is he going to beat Chris Jericho, who's been running him down in promos, or whatever the angle they build? I feel like Jericho's the guy who can do it on the mic and in the ring.
No doubt. I feel like if it's like I say, if I had to have one dance partner to finish my career off with, and I know the guy was going to go out there and do everything right for that match, you couldn't pick a better guy than Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho and I, we've had several matches throughout my career, and I tell you, there was not a guy that I could trust more than Chris Jericho to go out there and work solely for that match and the fans only. He never was a guy, I think still to this day, that goes out there and do it, for self-gratification or anything like that. Chris has always been the ultimate professional as far as going out there and making those fans feel a certain way about what they were watching. And like I say, I think Chris would be the perfect guy to do it with for Sting. If that is that swan song, that curtain call, go out there and get it done right.
Well, Book, we got to take a break. Now that you're back here with us in studio, I guess, for lack of a better term, I can see you.
Stick around, guys.
How well do you
Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
How well do you think you know your wrestling? I prepared some trivia questions right here for you, so let's go and take a look. How was that? I hope you did well. Now let's throw it back over to Brad and Booker for the Hall of Fame.
Shup! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We got a couple more segments here inside the Hall of Fame, guys, where you get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. I know you got a few super chatters, Bradley. Let's roll it.
Let's go to our next one. This is from
Super Chat.
Mike Edwards. Sup, guys? Love the show. Book, I love how you assemble the Wu-Tang Clan in the heat with you rocking the OJ gloves against Edge Stone.
Yeah, man, it's the Misotonas, man.
The
Misotonas back, just in case. I might have to go out. I'm thinking about getting the Bruno Magli's to go with it.
That would be ridiculous. If you came out Isotoners and Bruno Magli's, next thing you're going to be doing is doing videos about the fantasy draft going, what's up, Twitter world?
Bruno Magli's is crazy.
It's funny. You've watched, because you and I, we're both like OJ trial fanatics in a lot of ways.
I was just watching it the other day.
You've seen the deposition tapes for the civil trial where he's talking about the Bruno Magli's and he called them ugly ass shoes?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the guy pulls up a picture and goes, "Well, here's you on NFL Sunday. What are you wearing here?" And then there were the exact Bruno Magli shoes. I would never wear those ugly ass shoes.
Oh my God, man. But it is, you got to question, why put the Magley's on instead of keeping the running shoes on to go murder somebody? It's another conspiracy theory. I don't know.
I don't know either. This is from Richard Flair, I guess here. Love y'all. Y'all real with it, man.
Hey, man, we try to be, bro. We try to be. We talk about real issues here inside the Hall of Fame. We got a brother on one side. We got a brother on another side. We try to meet in the middle. You know what I mean? He's Caucasian brother, but he's a brother.
Yeah. There's about a few thousand people listening collectively and go, wait. Is it Brad? Brad? Wait.
That's why I had to
wait.
I call him brother. So we good.
Yeah, man, we try to keep it real. No one else could have the conversations that we have. No one else.
Not make them fun. You know what I mean?
Not
To
make
make
'em
it, fun, stupid. Like wrestling. That's what wrestling is. But it's all good.
Let's see our next one.
Super chat.
Scott Bott says carbon fiber, a video game controller, and a deep sea exploration. 3 things that don't go together.
Yeah. That's what was crazy. The submersible was controlled by Xbox controller.
Well, it's really setting yourself up for some
he had the light inside he got from Camping World. All the components on the submersible was stuff that you could buy at Home Depot. It's kind of crazy.
Not a craft that I would get in.
You put your life, in the hands of something like that, you know what I mean? And a person like that, and you pay them to do it. Oh, good God, man. I mean, I always say to get somebody to come out of their pocket, you know what I mean? And, to spend money, you got to motivate them. They were motivated to come out of their pocket for $250,000 a piece. And right now, the expedition is over. But right now, you still got people out there, trying to figure out exactly what happened. You got lawsuits coming like crazy, left and right. And people say, man, why won't they leave the scene and just let this thing be done? Because it's a billion answers to that. That's how much money's still down there at the bottom of the ocean. $1 billion, we got to go get it. That's why they still talking about this, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know what I mean? Even after, man, it's gone, he's still going to have to pay. They're going to have to pay.
So they haven't recovered the craft, correct?
They recovered parts of the craft.
But no bodies.
Oh, come on, you can't find
No, I know. My question is, what is the law there? Like, how long do you have to wait until you can officially declare somebody lost at sea?
I think they already can do that just because of
finding the remnant of the craft.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, man, I don't like the ocean. Just overall, I'm not a big fan.
You hear about people getting eaten by sharks. Oh, not eaten by sharks, but bitten by sharks on a yearly basis, and it's gotten worse over the years. People still want to go surf. You still got that. You don't find too many brothers out there surfing either.
Now we're about to get tweets with every professional surfer.
I said not too many.
Too many. Okay, see, you're changing up your vernacular.
No, I said not. I mean, because surfing, brothers love the water. I'm a Pisces. I love the water. I just don't like going up underneath it. But I do love the water. I go to the beach almost every weekend just because I do love the water. You know what I mean? So you're going to find a few brothers that love surfing. You know what I mean? But like I say, not the majority. Brothers going to want to go fight with a shark just to get a surf in,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. Here was this next one.
Super chat.
It's from Callie. Callie says, wasn't in enough room on that damn door for Leo. He's talking about Leonardo DiCaprio on the Titanic in the movie directed by Jim Cameron.
James Cameron, yeah.
Yeah, James Cameron. Yeah, people who know him call him Jim.
Oh, you know him, huh?
Well, I know of him. So doesn't that count? Man, James Cameron's made some great movies, by the way. I mean, you have Titanic, You've got Terminator, Terminator 2, True Lies, Avatar, Avatar 2.
He literally about to cash in on Avatar.
Whew. What do you mean about to?
Well, I mean cash out. That's what I meant to say. Cash out.
Now, have you ever heard the story with Matt Damon in Avatar?
No.
You know Matt Damon. Obviously, everyone knows Matt Damon.
Yeah, Knobs beat him up.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly
that's
Knobs.
That's a true story. That's not allegedly. That's
Knobs actually. Okay, wait, hold on. So I was about to go somewhere else, but we'll get back to the Matt Damon story about Avatar. I've always heard this. They were at some bar where in Boston.
Somewhere, I can't remember where it was.
And Matt Damon happened to be there, and the Nasty Boys and some of the other boys were there. And what he and Knobs, what happened? What happened?
Look, I don't know exactly what happened, but my brother was there. Knobs beat up Matt Damon in a bar, and the thing is, they probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Knobs and Sags, probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Matt Damon was just a kid back then. He was just getting started. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was the same guy that played in Django. Oh, that was Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yes.
That's
You're
what my-
confusing your white people.
Well, they both look kind of alike.
No, they don't. They were both in The Departed. So maybe that's where your confusion comes from.
Yeah, that's what
Because
it is.
if you saw a side by side of Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio, they look literally zero alike.
Oh, when
You
they
could
were
have a
young, when they
computer
were young.
Don't try to clean it up.
But now Matt Damon, he did run into Knobs in the club, and I don't know the gist of it, but that is the true story.
Okay. Well, here's the other true
And the thing
story.
is, I don't like telling stories if I wasn't there. I know the story is true because my brother was there. I've got like secondhand hearsay as far as the story goes, but I do believe the story that they told.
Okay. Well, here's what I was going to say about Matt Damon and Avatar is he was James Cameron came to him and was like, "Hey, I want you in Avatar. I want you to be like the main role." And Matt Damon was doing the Bourne movies at the time. And he was like, "I don't know. I got the shooting schedule would be tough. Like I'd finish the Bourne movie. I got to go right into Avatar." And James Cameron's like, "Look, man, I know you don't know about this project. Not a lot of people do. Trust me, it's going to be big. I'll give you 10% of the film's gross." Right.
Wow.
So that's box office. And Matt Damon goes, man, I just going to need some time to relax with my family after that. You know, I'm going to pass. That 10% would have been north of $250 million if he would have taken on the role.
Wow.
Whew. How do you not kick yourself after that?
Well, I don't think Matt Damon is hurting for money or anything
He's
like
not
that.
hurting, but
Sure,
he could use a 250.
Live golf tour, you can jump on that. Seriously. But no, man, I don't think he's hurting for money or anything. But that is something after you find out how big the movie is, you got to kick yourself a little bit and say, man, I wish I would have, may not have had time, but I wish I would have made time to actually get that done.
That's when you make time for it.
Yeah.
That's when you make time for it.
Hey, man, I never have time. I make time for everything.
I hear you. Kappa Owens comes in with a super chat.
Super chat.
You're always available when you're available, right? Brad said, "Isn't this the pose like a coffin?" Nah, babe, we're going back down. Pardon us. Excuse us. I seen a video of a dude flying off. Never again. It was hot. That slide was hot at the Schlitterbahn water park.
Hey, man, you ain't got to worry about me getting on it.
I'm not going to worry about it.
You ain't got to worry about me getting on anything to get a thrill.
No thrills?
Not like that. I get my thrills, but not like that. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, this is two-time Hall of Famer Booker T, and I want to invite all of you to Summer of Champions 9, going down at the Humble Civic Center, 7 o'clock bell time, guys. Brought to you by one Walker, Texas lawyer. Don't miss out on the biggest show of the summer where all the championships will be on the line. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. Summer of Champions 9. Now can you dig that, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Summer Champions 9 going down July 15th at the Humble Civic Center. We already got over 500 tickets sold. I think the building holds about 1,500 guys. Like I say, July 15th, and now we selling out. We're selling out, guys. So get your tickets now. Do it. Do it now. I do it for you. Go to realityofwrestling.com, guys, and get yourself set up right now. Ain't no more front row. Forget about that. But we still got tickets left.
There isn't any more front row. That's true. Here we go. We're going to continue on with our Super Chats book. We have like a ton, and we only have 11 minutes left, so we're going to make these quick.
Do it. Super Chat.
This is from Jamal Stoudemire, who said, BT, who you got for the mega fight, Spence versus Crawford. Also, Canelo signing with PBC to fight Charlo, Benavidez, and Spence, question mark?
Oh, man. Charlo, Benavidez, Spence. Let's go with the first one. Spence Crawford. I'm going to tell you right now. Spence Crawford, that's going to be a hell of a fight. Two guys stepping into that middle of the ring, and both guys, somebody's O has got to go. I got a whole lot of love for that boy, Errol Spence Jr., right down there in Dallas, Texas. But I'm going to tell you right now, that boy, Terrence Crawford, he is something special. And what I have analyzed is the guys, certain guys that both guys have fought. Like a Showtime Sean Porter. Showtime Sean Porter, Errol Spence was a hell of a fight. But against Crawford went out there and put them Fifth Ward beads on that boy and shut him down so much quicker. I gotta go with Crawford. I gotta go with Crawford in that fight. And the thing is, it's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em fight. Styles make fights. Of course, and that kid, Errol Spence, he's a dog. He don't mind going in your backyard and fighting your style, your way, on your turf. So it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. We'll debate that as we get closer. It is a pick 'em fight. I see why you go for Crawford. There's some questions maybe around Errol Spence, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one, man. I like my lefties. You know that. Here's our next one. Mike Edwards says, you guys ever watch Sheamus Celtic Warrior workouts?
Yeah.
On YouTube. Book, I would love to see your workout session with Sheamus.
Yeah, man. I watch his stuff. I think last one I just saw not too long ago was him and Rhea Ripley. And they were doing the Celtic workout. And I love to get in there and hang and bang in the zone with Sheamus just to see exactly what this young man has. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I still got a little bit left in the tank. I go in the gym and I hang and bang. I still throw the iron around, you know what I mean, like a beast. As soon as this session over with, I'm getting in the gym and train, bro, because I'm wearing this nice little outfit tomorrow in NXT, and I got to make sure the veins is popping. I got to make sure the chest is rippling. I got to make sure everything's right. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Let's move on.
Of course you do. Hey, why is it Celtic Warrior? And CLTIC, but then for Boston, we call them the Boston Celtics. It's spelled the same. I don't know why we do that. It's Celtic and Celtic. I don't know. That just popped in my head.
It's like Live and Live.
Yeah, I hear you.
Same.
This is from
Super Chat.
Rob Panel. I'm 43. The WCW Championship is still what I call the big belt to date, other than the King Booker run. Honors to the NWA belt, but why is the WCW belt number one to a lot of folks? Salute. The hard work to you in the boat. A lot of people love the big gold belt. It's my favorite championship in wrestling history.
I think it's the lineage. I think it's the lineage that goes into it. The guys like Harley Race, guys like Ric Flair, guys that really made that championship a wrestler's championship title. And the thing is, I appreciate now like Seth Rollins coming back and representing that working man's champion, the guy that's going to go out there and perform on all the pay-per-views. This guy is going to go out on Monday nights, a SmackDown Friday nights. A guy that's going to go out there and rep, almost like the People's Champion, bringing that back. And Seth Rollins made a little speech after his match with Braun Breaker last week, and he actually referenced that. Guys like Ric Flair, that's actually guys like Mr. Five Time, and going out there and really letting the fans see that this is what a champion really go out there and do on a weekly.
That's awesome.
And if you find the tenderoni that is right for you.
Mr. Cali Toenail coming in and said, Omega Osprey, thoughts on Tony Khan sitting up there looking like Jim Henson made him was behind him. Storyline is okay, but locker room is a bit much. Hey, man, it was a good match. It's a good match. That's all
I haven't seen the match, man. I'm definitely going to go back and look at it because I'm a fan of Will Ospreay. I think Kenny Omega is a hell of a talent. Those two guys in the middle of that square circle, you know, you're gonna get something good. I really believe that. Both of those guys are, professionals, and they work at a very, very high level. IQ as far as wrestling goes is very, very high. So I can't wait to go out there and see that match.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely one to watch. This is from
Super Chat.
Hakata Police, who says there is no elite without in New Japan Pro Wrestling 1972. Dog.
What did that mean?
I think they're saying that the elite was heavily influenced by New Japan, and that's where they made their bones, really. Like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, they had that great run with the Bullet Club, things like that in Japan. So there you go. What else to say on that one? New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Hey,
Jamal Stoudemire. BT, who you got for them? Oh, wait, we already did that one. Sorry, did I skip one here? I feel like I may have skipped one. Kappa Owens. Oh, wow. Okay, Brad and Book. Was Ospreay versus Omega match of the year, like people say. It's a contender, Book. It's a contender.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I've watched Kenny Omega perform, and this dude, he could work, man. He could work. You've never heard me say anything negative towards Kenny Omega just because he could work. I'm serious. And the thing is, he's come out, and he's, had his moments to where he's, not just in his wrestling mode, and you got to respect the guy who goes out and want to perform from that level as well. But inside the square circle, Kenny Omega is, he's second to none. He's just that good. I've given Will Ospreay so much praise. It's not even funny. I say, man, I just wish I could work with him. I just wish I had him for 5 minutes just so I could, work with. Just not saying that I can help him in any way as far as his wrestling goes, but I'm talking about working the American style and taking his aura to another level. That guy's a star. He's a mega star, and he can work anywhere in the world, and he's going to be over.
Yeah, I think Kenny Omega, as far as like his presentation, this is a guy who thinks about his entrances. He thinks about his look. He thinks about his attire. He thinks about his finisher. He thinks about, all the things that you should. And you know what? And I'm going to give him this. With that hairstyle that he's got, if you see him out, there's no mistaking that's Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? He's got like the we talk about that airport test. Like, I think it's a strange look with the hair, but it works for him, and it's gotten him noticed. And if you, like I said, if you're walking through an airport, you're like, oh man, hey, that's Kenny Omega.
Well, he's different, man. He's different. He's set himself apart from just about everybody else out there. You know who Kenny Omega is. Mm-hmm. And I've always said, when your name get there before you do, you're a star. And people, I think, know who Kenny Omega is around the world. Even if they don't watch wrestling, if they hear the name Kenny Omega, they're going to, connect him with professional wrestling. That's the way I see it.
Well, let me ask you this, because you want to talk about pro wrestling and recognizing potentially achievements like a match of the year. We should also recognize the achievement. The NXT did its highest rating in 2 years on the Gold Rush Part 1 episode, up 192,000 viewers from the week prior. That's a huge jump.
Don't show you the star power of that man, Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. He came in, he brought the fans with him. And the thing is, I felt like that approach would work as far as getting people to, tune in. Braun Breaker, up and coming superstar against Seth Rollins, a made man, a guy that's, done so much in this business, coming back to NXT, the place where he was the first NXT champion. Oh man, that was a story, man. That was, self-made, and it worked. It worked perfectly. And now, Gold Rush Night 2, we're going to have Baron Corbin taking on that man, looking down from high above on that mantle. That boy, Carmelo Hayes, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good in tow. Trick Williams will be in the building as well. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be another great night for NXT.
It's going to be another great night for NXT Gold Rush Part 2. And, of course, we got Money in the Bank this weekend abroad. People want to know our thoughts, and I think we're going to have to do an all Money in the Bank preview show later on in the week because, that man Logan Paul is now in the Money in the Bank. That woman Trish Stratus is now in the Money in the Bank. Finn Balor, love what I've seen from him and Seth as of late. They're rematching potentially their big world title match, the first Universal Championship match, probably going into Money in the Bank. So a lot to talk about inside the world of professional wrestling book. But I think that we need to let the people know one last time. Summer of Champions 9, July 15th, main event, Matty Ice versus Edge Stone, Reality Wrestling Championship inside the steel cage with a special enforcer, Nick Patrick.
Oh, yeah, it's going down, guys. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. Like Brad said, July 15th at the Humble Civic Center, 7 o'clock bell time, guys. So go to realityofwrestling.com. Do it. Do it now. I do it for you. Hey, guys, we got to get up out of here, man. I want to thank Brad for all the heavy lifting, all the super chatters for making this thing work on a weekly, man. But next week, same place, same time. Right now, peace. We love you. We out.